The dark art of motivation, turning soldiers into desperate men. Now, we're about to dive into some of the darker aspects of military strategy. Buckle up, because this might challenge your perceptions of warfare and leadership. Sun Tzu wrote, "To kill the enemy, it is an army of angry men that is needed." To capture the enemy's possessions, soldiers must be encouraged by reward. Let's break this down, shall we? The power of rage. Imagine you're a general, and you need to motivate thousands of soldiers to risk their lives. How do you do it? Sun Tzu suggests two powerful motivators, anger and greed. Let's start with anger. There's a famous story about a Chinese general named Tiadan. His city was under siege, and the enemy had been cutting off the noses of captured soldiers. Gruesome, right? But Tiadan saw an opportunity. He spread a rumor that the enemy was planning to desecrate the ancestral graves outside the city. When the enemy fell for it and actually started digging up graves, Tiadan's soldiers were filled with such rage that they fought like demons, breaking the siege against all odds. The lesson: a shared anger can unite an army like nothing else. The allure of reward. Now, let's talk about the other motivator, greed. An ancient Chinese commentator put it bluntly: without money, no soldiers will come. Without rewards, no soldiers will fight. Throughout history, many armies have used the promise of plunder as a motivator. It's a dark truth, but the prospect of wealth has often driven soldiers to fight harder and take greater risks. There's a saying among successful generals: the land and cities go to the emperor, but the spoils go to the soldiers. By letting soldiers keep what they capture, generals ensure their troops are motivated to fight fiercely. The ethical dilemma. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds pretty terrible, right? And you're not wrong. These tactics have led to some of the darkest chapters in human history. But here's the thing: understanding these strategies isn't about endorsing them. It's about recognizing the harsh realities of warfare and human nature. It's about understanding how leaders throughout history have motivated people to do the unthinkable. The modern perspective. In today's world, we like to think we're beyond such brutal tactics. Modern military forces emphasize discipline, professionalism, and ethical conduct. But the underlying principles of creating a shared purpose and rewarding achievement are still very much in play, just in more positive forms. The takeaway: so what can we learn from this? A few things. 1. Emotions are powerful motivators. Whether it's anger at an injustice or excitement about a reward, feelings drive action. 2. Shared purpose is crucial. Whether it's a common enemy or a common goal, unity is strength. 3. Incentives matter. People will work harder when they have a personal stake in the outcome. 4. Leadership often involves difficult moral choices. The line between motivation and manipulation can be thin. 5. Understanding these principles doesn't mean we have to use them unethically. We can apply these insights in positive ways in our own lives and leadership roles. Remember, the art of war isn't just about battlefield tactics. It's about understanding human nature in its rawest form. And that understanding can be applied to any field, from business to politics to personal development. The key is to use this knowledge wisely and ethically. After all, the greatest victory is the one that requires no battle at all. The power of recognition: who's first on the wall? Alright, let's talk about something that might seem small, but can make or break an army, or any organization for that matter. It's all about who gets the credit. Sun Tzu wrote, "In chariot battles, reward the first to capture at least 10 chariots." Now, you might be thinking, why just the first? Isn't everyone important? Well, here's where it gets interesting: the psychology of reward. Imagine you're attacking an enemy city. The walls are high, the defenders are fierce. Who's going to be the first to scale that wall? It's not just about bravery, it's about incentive. Sun Tzu knew that if you promise a big reward to the first person up that wall, suddenly everyone's fighting to be first. But here's the catch: as a leader, you'd better be watching closely. Because if you miss who was first, or worse, reward the wrong person, guess what happens next time? That's right, no one's rushing to be first anymore. The ripple effect of recognition. But it's not just about that one person. When someone takes that first brave step, it creates a ripple effect. Others follow, and suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes achievable. That's why Sun Tzu emphasized rewarding the first. They're not just the first, They are the spark that ignites the whole team. Turning enemies into assets. Now, here's where Sun Tzu really shows his brilliance. What do you do with the enemy soldiers you've captured? In ancient times, it was common to simply execute prisoners of war. But Sun Tzu said something revolutionary: treat the captives well and care for them. Why? Because every enemy soldier you turn into an ally is a double win. You've not only removed a threat, you've gained a resource. It's like in business, sometimes your biggest critics can become your most loyal customers if you treat them right. The weight of leadership. Sun Tzu concludes this section with a powerful statement: the general is the safeguard of the lives of the people, and the arbiter of the nation's security. Think about that for a moment. As a leader, whether you're leading an army, a company, or a small team, you hold people's livelihoods, sometimes even their lives, in your hands. The takeaway: so, what's the big lesson here? It's about responsibility and recognition. 1. Pay attention to who's taking the lead. Reward initiative. It breeds more initiative. 2. Don't just defeat your opponents, win them over. Your biggest asset might be someone who used to be on the other side. 3. Remember the weight of your decisions. Whether you're wielding a sword, a pen, or a steering wheel, your actions affect others. In the end, great leadership isn't just about strategy or strength. It's about creating a system where everyone is motivated to give their best, where even former enemies can become allies, and where every decision is made with a full understanding of its impact. Remember, in life as in war, it's not just about winning, it's about how you win, and what you do with that victory.